This is Rap's Revenge again. I just wanted to make a statement that I crush all camps. I step on them all like itty bitty bugs. And if you want to do the same thing, I'll give you the easiest advice. Just follow thus saith the Lord and start to press them on questions about the contradictions from the New to the Old Testament. And it's an easy thing to do. I'm like Mayweather. All I got to do is just keep on going to my jab on them because they don't hear God. They hear Paul's letters, and they have to ask themselves, are Paul's letters more authoritative than the Word of God? And I'm going to give you an analogy so that these clowns try to run around people that will tell you that, these clowns always try to run around and make you say things or make it seem like you're saying things you're not. And that's why I always tell people, the book says be always ready and willing to give an answer. And if you say that you don't know something, it doesn't mean that they've won anything. So, for instance, if I tell you 2 times 4,000 is not 0, but I don't know what it is, that's not lying or being deceitful to you. It's called using deductive reasoning. So it's the same thing that I asked about the scriptures in the New Testament. If Christ says that he's the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow, then why didn't we call him Christ in the Old Testament? So you can dance around that any way you want, but you're going to need, the burden of proof is on you to explain why they don't call him Christ in the Old Testament. You could say he was this angel. You can say he was this or that. It just doesn't make any sense. And one thing these camps are great at doing is adding to the word. I don't do that. I try not to do that at all. Like, for instance, I'll ask these camps and they'll tell you that in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and then Jesus was inside of that creation and all of this and all of that. That's bullshit. That's their add-ons. Because if that's the case, then why isn't it as significant as Genesis 1 and 21 where God created the whale? You would think Jesus would be more important than the whale, so his creation, you would assume, would be mentioned in its own specific, like the whale, if anything. So a lot of these people who follow these camps, they're new to this truth, and I don't want to say they're stupid, but they just lack learning and understanding because they're caught up in the allure of these camps. And I've been following these camps longer than most of these people who stepped into this truth. I've been in this truth for about 7 years. I literally started by listening to Sakari's lying ass, and I listened to him for so long that I started to realize they were lying. And I took that shit personal because I think they know they're lying. I think these camps know they're lying, and my job is just to expose them. I don't know everything about the book, I'll be honest, and I'll tell you that. But what I do know about the book, I'm pretty solid on. And I'm solid on the understanding that Jesus ain't coming back to save nobody. It's clear cut in the Bible. It's clear cut from the old to the new contradictions. And I can go through with them all day long. That's why I asked them about Romans 3 and 7, about Paul's lie. And what you have to understand is most people who listen to these camps, they don't understand biblical history. They don't understand that Paul was actually persecuting the Israelites who were keeping the laws of God. And then a new Pauline Christian movement came where he was telling people that they didn't have to keep the laws and they could be uncircumcised and all this crazy shit, which led up to the point where they were about to kill Paul on the temple steps until he screamed out that he was a Pharisee. So you got to ask yourself that shit. And most of the people who follow these ISUB Sakari camps, they won't tell you this because they don't know this, because they don't know the biblical history of what was going on. And that's why Catholic Cesariak, when we had our debate, he tried to confuse me, but he got caught up on himself because he tried to say, well, those people were Paul was persecuting the followers of Christ, or then he said of the Israelites, and then he had this miraculous conversion, and they were wondering, well, how could you do it? What you people don't understand, most people who don't actually study the Bible and they listen to these other people like I used to do, is the biblical, what was going on at the time. The new movement of Pauline Christianity was sweeping over and basically overtaking people like me who would be considered heretics now, who are telling you that your foundation lies in thus saith the Lord. So as much as these people want to squeeze Paul's words in so bad, what it amounts to is man worship. And what I've realized is some of you people have to find it out on your own. Some of you people have to literally read it on your own, and there's going to be a time where something hits you, where somebody like me comes along and can help you parse through those contradictions. That's why I went to Romans 3 and 7, and we didn't even get hot. They knew where we were going. Those people are underneath Paul's authority. And remember, Paul magnified his own office. God didn't magnify Paul's office. Paul magnified his own office to the Gentile. And God is like, hey, this is for Israel. And Christ is like, the real Christ is like, hey, this is for Israel as well. And when I asked the Cap about the multiple Christ, his silly ass tried to say that that's not what it said. And that's completely Matthew 24 and 5 says, many will come in my name saying I am Christ and deceive many. And he said, I wasn't talking about deceiving. I was talking about Jesus Christ. Do you believe in Jesus Christ? Of course, but not Jesus Christ's salvation. There's more than one Jesus in the Bible. And we're breaking through to these clowns because last week I just listened to the Sakari, and for the first time ever, they said that there's multiple Christs in the Bible. And when we start to break that open, then we'll start to expose their false doctrine. So I'm glad they said that, because that just gave me the green light to really go in on all these clowns. So this is an open invite to any one of you camps who are preaching Christ saves. I'll destroy you like Rat was destroying you. And I take it kind of personal because y'all was debating that man when you knew you were fucking lying. When y'all knew y'all were lying. And y'all waited till this man died to try to steal his fucking doctrine. Y'all are some pussies, straight up. There ain't no peace. There's no peace with that shit. When y'all are deceivers and y'all are sending our people to the fire through the lies of Paul. No, I'm going to jump in y'all's rooms and talk my shit. If you don't like it, then don't teach it. And now I listened to the brother last night from Sakari talk shit, and now I'm compelled to start making videos. So I'll be around. Don't worry.